How's it going, super friends? 2 reviews, 1 video. Let's get started. So first off, I want to talk about the Aquaman movie, the trailer that was released at SDCC. It's a pretty interesting trailer from start to finish. And when I say interesting, I mean balls awesome! I think if you're a DC fan, you're pretty much in agreement that it's a pretty rad thing we're getting a live-action Aquaman film. Whether or not you like Jason Momoa's portrayal of Aquaman is another thing. Just the fact that we're getting one is very cool. And then also, I mean, it just looks awesome. The special effects for this movie seem rad. All of the costuming seems like it's incredibly well done. Atlantis looks fantastic, as do all of the undersea animated worlds. They're all CG, obviously, and they all look fantastic. And by the end of the trailer, me as the viewer, whether I'm a DC fan or not, I walk away with this thinking one thing, that this is going to be epic. Now let's back up just a little bit here and have a closer look at the Aquaman trailer's story, if we're to believe what we're seeing. It's a story that, if you're a DC fan, you're familiar with, because they've told the story on multiple occasions in different timelines. The story of Aquaman being born, obviously, of the Atlantean Queen and the Lighthouse Keeper, who is the reluctant king who is now needed under the sea because his brother Orm is trying to take the throne as the Ocean Master, and he is bad news. You don't want him to be the king of Atlantis because everything goes very bad there when he becomes the king. And so, for him to do the right thing for his people and to prevent a war between the surface dwellers and the undersea dwellers, Aquaman must descend and take his rightful place as the king of Atlantis on the throne. Like I said, the reluctant king. A very classic story, not just for Aquaman, but this is a basic story that's been told throughout literature as well. The reluctant king takes the throne to save his people and the world. Amber Heard looked fantastic. Black Manta looked amazing and badass in a way that I've never seen him look quite as badass. And he was only on screen for a matter of seconds. Atlantis looked fantastic. The monsters looked fantastic. If I'm not mistaken as well, it seems like the film might actually be fairly well paced. I don't think they're going to jump right into everything right away. And can we get a hello for all those undersea people there? I want to see more of them as well. So yeah, the trailer for Aquaman has me completely, totally, absolutely stoked. I will be first in line to go and see it on opening day, as I was with every other DC movie, starting from Superman Returns upward. Opening day, in line, in the theater. It's dark, no one else is there. That's me. Hi. Now let's talk about the second movie, Shazam, which as far as I'm concerned is a movie that actually has to happen. DC has to make a movie like this because they are just now coming out of the darkness, the grittiness, the very blue-toned Snyderverse. Whether you're a fan of Zack Snyder's vision or not, there can be no mistake that it was very dark. It seems now that DC has decided to reposition themselves as not being so dark and gritty. Yes, there's going to be moments and times when things seem hopeless in Aquaman as well as Shazam and also Wonder Woman 84, but they learned from, hey, maybe having it quite so dark wasn't something that everybody likes. And they need to make their movies in such a way that fans will like their movies and new people will want to see their movies. They have to also remember that if they don't rope in a certain amount of kids, then where's the next generation of fans? So as far as I'm concerned, the Shazam trailer was fantastic. For one, it's so playful, it's so bright, and why wouldn't the story of a little boy who is chosen to be the Wizard Shazam's hero and then given superpowers, why wouldn't that be a bright tale? Why wouldn't that be a light-hearted tale for the most part? You're a kid who has just been given superpowers. He didn't even know in the trailer, if we're to believe what we're seeing, he didn't even know what superpowers he had. He had to discover that he was bulletproof and had super strength and that he couldn't fly. Although we all know that he can fly. There's a theme, as a side note, that they talk about, him and Freddy are talking about in the cafeteria, about which superpowers you would want if you could have them. Which one would you want? And flight is talked about. So clearly what's going to happen is flight will likely be the last superpower that he discovers, either during his battle with the very badass looking Dr. Savannah, or maybe we'll see an appearance from Superman, as has been teased for a long time now. Maybe Superman will come in and teach him how to fly. I have no idea. But the trailer looks so good and so playful. The suit is red, and it's really red, and the lightning bolt is yellow, and it's really yellow, and as far as I'm concerned, the more comic accurate, the better. I'm never a huge fan when a producer and the costuming staff and everyone behind the movie goes, let's make this suit look like it's real, like something that could exist in the real world. I honestly don't care. I mean, yes, I wouldn't want Batman running around in an Adam West 66 Batman suit in a movie. Okay, you got me there. However, if you can suspend disbelief that a guy can fly and got his powers from a wizard, then why can't you suspend disbelief that his suit is going to be really bright and comic accurate? I love it myself, personally. And I think that Shazam is exactly what the DC film universe needed. Superman was always supposed to be that big bright light, but when we see this trailer, we see that Shazam has directly, right away, positioned himself as the bright light of the DC universe. That's not to say that in future Superman movies we're not going to see a really good, bright, hopeful Superman, but that was not the position that he had from the start. Whereas Billy Batson, being the Wizard's hero, he's definitely that light in a dark place. I mean, literally, did you see his chest? It's literally a light in a dark place. So yeah, both of these trailers that debuted at SDCC have me completely stoked, and I can't wait for them to hit the theaters and become a living, breathing part of the DC film universe at large. Maybe in another 5 years we'll get another group movie that will include Shazam in their universe. That would be kind of fun. But even just as a standalone away from the Justice League, this is going to be really epic. Although again, I do hope that I see Superman in that movie. Kind of biased. Anyway, these are just my thoughts. I'm curious to know what you think. Did you like the trailers? Did you see the trailers? If you did, let me know what you thought down in the comments below. If you liked the video, please bash a thumbs up on it, because that's going to let me know I'm doing something right. And finally, if you think you'd like to become a super friend and join the DC squad, hit the subscribe button. Remember to doing the bell, because occasionally it works. And I will see you in the next video. Have an awesome day, super friends. Take care. Oh yeah, and this is also part 1 to a 2-part series. Why don't I bury that at the end? Note to self. Make a little announcement at the beginning of this video as well. Okay. Bye-bye now.